My beloved, do you think it's an accident that you are hearing my voice right now? No. Heaven planned this moment long before you took your first breath. This is one of the divine laws of the universe. Yes, this is the law of attraction. I was sent to remind you, nothing in your life happens by chance. Every step, every turn, every closed door, and every open one has led you here, to this exact moment. Before I reveal what heaven wants you to know, take a moment to like this video so this word can reach those who are searching for light. And then, receive this message with love. Type in the comments, I receive and accept it with love, and seal it with 888. This is not just a gesture, it is a spiritual alignment. It keeps the divine law of giving and receiving in perfect balance. Heaven is watching who responds. You'll notice a super thanks button right below this video. And listen carefully, when you give $22 or more, you are not simply supporting a channel. You are planting a heavenly seed in the soil of your own future. Just as a farmer never plants without expecting a harvest, your gift will return to you multiplied. Archangel Michael declares, every divine seed will bear divine fruit. When you give, you're saying, God, I trust you. I believe your promises. I'm ready for the blessing you've prepared for me. And let me tell you, heaven remembers those moments of faith. Your name is written in the book of remembrance, and the harvest is already on its way. Now, step with me into the message heaven has been waiting to release into your life. You are a true 10 out of 10, chosen one that you are. And in light of the fact that your new life begins right now, everything you say will come true. This very moment, when all of the bogus energies, form shifters, and spiritual warfare techniques suddenly fall beneath your overpowering ascension force, has been the moment that the universe has been preparing you for throughout your whole existence. The crown chakra in your head is charged with electromagnetic energy. There is no force on this planet that can pull you back into hiding when you are meant to blow the whistle on everything that they have been concealing from humanity. Your third eye is downloading universal codes at the speed of quantum mechanics. Experience the radiance of the cosmos that springs forth from your presence. It is precisely this that is causing certain individuals to completely lose their minds. You are dealing with ringleaders who want you to return to that dark night of the soul. They want you to do this. I would like to expose you as a scam. Want you to be confined and isolated in situations from which you have no way of escaping. These are persons who are in positions of authority and have become accustomed to having their rear ends kissed. They have based their authority on the fact that others have remained in a subordinate position. Your spiritual rank, on the other hand, is causing them to ruffle their feathers because they can see what is going to happen. In addition, what is on the horizon is a reckoning that they are not ready for. Within the secret chambers of your life, there are things that are being brought to light. Hidden truths made their way out of the shadows. Someone is putting forth extra effort to undermine you because of the truths about your social class elevation. The goal is to make you appear incompetent, as if you are not capable of completing the work at hand, as if you have been sipping the Kool-Aid and shouldn't be in control of your own destiny. They are taking every shortcut and every underhanded path to do this. In reality, the fact that they are so dedicated to preventing your rise to power is evidence that you are precisely where you should be. One of you, pay attention to how they are maneuvering right now. Take note of the statements that are passive-aggressive, the attempts to undermine your confidence, and the way that they are suddenly too busy to acknowledge your growth while simultaneously scrutinizing your every move. They are attempting to make you appear to be the antagonist, to keep you stuck in old habits, and to persuade you that you are unable to simply step away from circumstances that are no longer beneficial to your raised frequency. On the other hand, you are attempting to assert yourself in every aspect of your life, aren't you? No is synonymous with no. When we talk about borders, we are referring to boundaries. Furthermore, when you say something, you intend to convey the entire power of divine authority in your words. There is no way to ignore the fact that your inner and outer beauty have reached a frequency that cannot be ignored. And it is causing certain individuals to become filled with righteous wrath. They're seeing you blossom and radiate brightness, and it's messing with their inflated sense of self and their superiority complex. They're watching you. Every single one of those things that you harped on once upon a time. Each and every one of those warning signs that you discovered regarding affairs, sabotage, theft, and falsehoods. In every single one of them, you were absolutely right. The whistles that you are going to blast in order to bring these loose ends to a close will not only provide you with the closure that you have been looking for, but they will also reveal the truth about individuals who believed they were untouchable from the beginning. Right now, there are people in prominent positions who are being brought down from their high horses and are coming to the realization that they are not as safe as they considered themselves to be. It's possible that you're trying to keep a low profile, but others are really reading you like a book. They see the vitality of a billionaire who is not visible, the statistics that are guaranteed, and the capacity to earn cash quickly and regularly. What they fail to comprehend is that you are not a teacher's pet in any environment, be it a workplace or a familial family dynamic. With divine favor that has some serious feathers ruffled, you are the teacher's pet of the cosmos itself. You are responsible for everything that happens. They are gradually coming to terms with the reality of the situation. Due to the fact that there is a need for more people of your kind in this world, you are going to raise an entire army of people who are light workers, messengers, and truth-tellers just like you. There are some people who are only interested in having their egos massaged and their behinds kissed, while you are here to better the quality of life. As a result of the ego death that they are currently going through, they are pointing fingers at you in an attempt to make it appear as though you are not a trustworthy source, as if you have never had it together, as if you are incapable of counting or are not psychic, or any other narrative that supports their purposes. Foundation that is degrading. It is impossible to overlook your genuineness. As a laser, the approach in which you conduct business with genuine authenticity penetrates the well-created facades that they have constructed. Those who are interested in attempting to conceal your authenticity are more than welcome to do so. Nevertheless, you are here to expose the truth and to uncover secrets that have been concealed for an excessively long period of time. Because this is what you are divinely prompted to do, not because you are trying to be shady or untidy, but because this is what you are doing. At this point, it is not your fault that you are revealing certain individuals about themselves. It is your path to follow. The leaders of the ring who are attempting to engage in a psychic assault on you are accustomed to having power, authority, and control. They would prefer that you do not possess the codes. Have no desire for you to become one with the light. You should not be in possession of the keys that will allow you to realize your full potential. They are recognizing the indicators that your covert adversaries would prefer you not to recognize. Your fast updated system, on the other hand, is able to detect every term, every subtle manipulation, and every attempt to put a wrench into your spiritual advancements. Pay attention to how they pretend they are too busy to pay attention to you while simultaneously undermining everything you do in a methodical and forceful manner. Having seen what you saw, there is no need for you to lie about it. This is the realization that they have at long last came to. You have the ability to unearth the truth about persons who are in positions of leadership but are not genuine, who ascended to status too quickly, and who obtained their influence through manipulation rather than merit. A distinction between those who are the sun and those who are only shade lights is about to be brought to light. There is a fundamental realization that you are making regarding your capacity for curing it. People in your immediate vicinity either experience a sense of complete healing or anger as a result of your presence. There is no longer any room for compromise. It is either that they are utterly enraged, that they are enraged publicly, or that they have been transformed and are devoted to your light. This polarizing impact is not a result of random chance. It is the inevitable consequence of functioning at a frequency that compels all individuals to confront their true selves. In the same way that a mastermind who has been silently observing and documenting has been doing, you are learning to keep quiet about certain insights while deliberately revealing others. You are taking a step back, observing the patterns that are developing, and storing precious knowledge in a safe until the time is right for it to be revealed. The purpose of using you as a vessel is to demonstrate to them what is genuine and what is really an act. The purpose of demonstrating why divine birthrights, rather than chance occurrences, are responsible for wealth and the breaking of generational curses. There are people around you who are constantly complaining, people who are always looking for an audience to validate their victimization, and they are becoming more and more transparent. You are the only person who is sitting there wondering why people who are professed to be confident and successful are acting in such a way that is so insecure and dependent on validation. At the same time that you are chronicling every revelation with the precision of a cosmic accountant, these walking contradictions are disclosing themselves through their desperate attempts to preserve relevance in your improved reality. There will be a need for people to make amends for the way they treated you, regardless of whether or not they communicate with you personally. They are going to have to come to terms with the fact that they should not have crossed someone who was functioning with the same level of heavenly protection and prophetic accuracy as you. You make a mirror available to them that is so reflective that they cannot fail to notice their own shadows. In addition, if they do not wish to see their own reflection, they will attempt to break the glass rather than engage in the process of working on themselves. Your goals are developing with time. Your understanding of what constitutes success needs to be revised. Additionally, your social class is being raised regardless of whether or not you make the announcement to the public. The hermit mode that you experience during your dark night of the soul is very different from the self-love vault that you are operating from, since you are acting from this vault. Press like, type amen in the comments, and let your faith echo through holy voices. At the time, it appeared to be a form of punishment and constraint. The feeling is that it is divine protection and strategic positioning at this moment. The people who are keeping an eye on your constancy, your capacity to acquire resources, and your ability to show up in an authentic manner regardless of the events that are occurring outside of you. They are attempting to decipher the mechanism by which an individual who does not flaunt material wealth is able to attract opportunities and build abundance with an efficiency that is beyond human comprehension. In reality, they are unaware of the fact that you have acquired the ability to function from an awareness of worthiness rather than from scarcity training. The universe, on the other hand, reacts to that frequency with extraordinary mathematical accuracy. By doing so, you are demonstrating to certain individuals that the rules they have been making up as they go along are not valid. The philosophy of eye for an eye that they have been working from is not something that is welcomed in your part of the world. In the same way that people who believed they could take matters into their own hands later found out that cosmic justice functions on a whole different time frame and scale than human vengeance, these individuals are realizing that their actions have consequences that they did not anticipate. It is mostly due to the fact that you are beautiful that people are angry with you. It is not only the physical appearance, but also the inner brightness that manifests itself when an individual constantly operates from their highest self. It is impossible to overlook your beauty. Moreover, it is not merely a matter of superficial attractiveness. It is the magnetism that results from being in harmonious line with the divine nature. The fact that it reveals the artificial augmentation and superficial attractiveness that they have been relying on is another reason why they cannot abide it. While you are climbing, there are those people in your immediate vicinity who are unwilling to accept that they are in the midst of their flop era, that they are experiencing a gloam. They have a skewed understanding of how cycles operate, as they believe that they should always be in the up position while others should always be in the down position. Your elevation compels them to face the fact that transformation necessitates letting go of things that are no longer beneficial to them. Congratulations! Furthermore, the majority of individuals would prefer criticize your character than investigate their own decisions. The intellect that you are currently working with goes well beyond the knowledge that you have simply obtained. Activated by a divine link, this is wisdom that has been stored up. Despite the fact that you have been completely healed, the mayhem that you have survived is packed away like ammunition, which makes you both empathetic and dangerous. You are more intelligent, wiser, and powerful than you were before. There is also a message that is hidden beneath the surface of your energy that cautions others not to test you because you have receipts that they do not want to be made public. In the same way that someone who went through hell to earn their spiritual stripes is not the same person who entered this metamorphosis, you are not the same person. The version of you that was able to bear disrespect, that was able to explain your worth to others who were determined to devalue it, and that was able to apologize for taking up space was the person who was transformed by the fire of your process of becoming. The thing that emerged has an energy that is so powerful that it alters the molecular structure of every area that you inhabit. Because they originate from a consciousness that has been cleansed through adversity and validated via success, your words now have the weight of a prophetic message. It is impossible to provide a rational explanation for the precise manner in which things materialize when you speak them into existence. If you have a premonition regarding a person or circumstance, the passage of time will support that premonition with a regularity that will be embarrassing to anyone who had doubts about you. This is not a case of luck. This is heavenly intelligence that is traveling through a channel that is unobstructed. Those who are attempting to demonstrate that your work ethic is questionable, that you are not sincere, and that you are more likely to cause difficulties than you are to solve. Due to the fact that your track record speaks louder than their propaganda, they are having a difficult time winning this battle. In the same way that those who spoke in riddles and predictions were rejected as crazy until everything they predicted came to fruition, you are learning to develop the ability to trust your insights regardless of who believes them at the time. The very fact that you are present has turned into a living truth serum that compels individuals to reconcile the well-constructed lies they created with the truth. Your words and actions will endure the test of time, regardless of whether it takes 11 years, as was the case with the prophecy about the marriage that appeared to be stable but was actually constructed on unstable ground, or whether it occurs quickly. Those individuals who are currently making a concerted effort to reject your findings are the same individuals who will soon be forced to acknowledge that you were correct all along. It is actually validation that you are a serious challenge to systems that are built on deception and manipulation, that the spiritual warfare that is intensifying around you is actually happening. Because they have a better understanding of something that you are only just starting to get a handle on, they are working extra hours to make you appear insignificant. Your reawakening is infectious to others. And if a sufficient number of people discover what you have, their entire paradigm will be shattered. An example of this would be someone who was promised a dragon but had to wait for the appropriate moment to hatch rather than trying to push the egg to hatch first. Before the time. You are observing the people around you as they strive to speed up time frames that should be allowed to develop in a natural way. It is not your responsibility to save them from their impatience. Rather, it is your responsibility to show them what occurs when they put their faith in divine timing rather than human urgency. It is becoming clear to you that your energy has a profound impact on everything in your environment, and that this influence requires careful management. It is possible for anger to consume entire rooms when it is present. When you are mending, it has the potential to change the atmosphere. It is possible to awaken latent potential in other people when you begin your actions from a place of love. Having this level of energetic power comes with a certain amount of responsibility, and you are learning the wisdom to use it in an intentional manner. You have been so focused on eradicating harmful connections that you have nearly forgotten what it is like to have healthy relationships. As a result, the acknowledgement and friendship that comes from unexpected sources will surprise you. Relationships that are founded on mutual empowerment rather than shared dysfunction will be formed as a result of these new alliances, which will be formed around your increased frequency rather than your previous trauma. The individuals who recognize you as the prophetic seer that you have always been are doing so because of your spiritual position. The mastermind of the galaxy who is able to negotiate difficult situations with divine insight. You are gaining a reputation as someone who is steadfast in their beliefs, who is a spiritual warrior, and who exemplifies how to convert from a nobody into a somebody without sacrificing honesty or compassion. Every person who is following your journey will be astounded by the miracles that are beginning to materialize as you let go of your hyper-focus on particular results and put your faith in the universal intelligence that is directing your route. The occurrence of these supernatural interventions occurs naturally when an individual is in total alignment with their divine mission and acts from an unshakable trust rather than from a desperate demand for control. Recognizing that the people and circumstances that put you to the test were really helping you become more capable of handling this level of responsibility. You are working on forgiving those who have wronged you in a way that will bring you freedom. It's possible that you used to be a workaholic, but now you're all about striking a balance. Perhaps in the past you were someone who tried to please other people, but today you are establishing boundaries that respect your value. Those who are paying attention may see the progression clearly already. As the climax of this revelation approaches, it is important to acknowledge that the electricity you experienced at the beginning has evolved into a spiritual power that is continually present. With the manifestation of regular divine guidance, the prophetic skills that were simmering have been brought to fruition. It is now clear that your unstoppable ascent is confirmed by the attacks that have been launched by the threatening troops. After you finished reading these words, the beginning of your new life did not just begin. In the instant that you become aware of the truth about who you have always been under the training, it triggered. It is now with the intensity of someone who is aware of their worth, asserts their power, and functions with divine authority that the galaxy shine that initially drew their attention is now burning. You are no longer the individual to whom approval or authorization is being sought. You are the one who is granting it in a limited capacity, curating your circle with surgical precision, and exhibiting what occurs when an individual refuses to deal with anything that is less than their divine inheritance. It is now complete that you have transformed from someone they could manipulate into someone they can only watch in amazement. When you support the vision, you share in the victory. Partner with holy voices today. From the very beginning, you were in possession of keys that are currently being used to unlock doors that they were completely unaware even they existed. With the full force of wisdom that you have worked so hard to gain and the support of the cosmos, the truth that you were born to proclaim is now being delivered. This moment is yours, the one you have chosen. Right now, as you integrate this realization of your authentic power, rather than tomorrow, when conditions are perfect and when others provide permission, in order to take advantage of this opportunity. Everything that you have endured has prepared you for the responsibility that you now have. The fact that you have completed everything demonstrates that you are prepared to take on this task. It is not yet time for your new life to begin. You are the one who is waiting for you to step into it with the self-assurance of someone who is certain that their victory is divinely secured. Give that idea a moment of your attention. For something that is of the utmost significance, I seek your attention. We are divulging all of the information that we have regarding personal power. A weekly Zoom call that will help you heal yourself and others at the same time. There will be no inhibitions or filters. Since we have been practicing spirituality for literally years, we have been silently contributing all of the esoteric secrets that we have accumulated. It is now possible for anyone who are prepared to follow the same path to have access to the skills and knowledge that allowed us to convert from controlled pawns into conscious creators. This is your invitation to become a member of the Holy Voices Inner Order and to support our platform. By doing so, we will be able to continue expanding our megaphone and reaching new individuals who have been selected and are currently waiting to be activated. When you become a member of the Holy Voices Inner Order, you are not only obtaining access to information that is currently off limits, but you are also becoming a part of a movement that is rewriting reality itself. We have all come out on top in every way. A link can be found in the description. If regular people were to have a genuine understanding of what is taking place when you talk, they would be frightened by the level of precision that your manifestations have attained. Any casual comment you make about the future of another person will turn out exactly as you thought it would. Every random observation that makes reference to shifting dynamics turns out to be accurate, right down to the tiniest of details. Each and every intuitive strike about hidden objectives exposes itself with mathematical precision. The accumulation of this event is not a coincidence. What you are experiencing is your consciousness functioning as a direct channel for the intelligence of the universe. In addition, the responsibility of wielding such precision is both exhilarating and humbling at the same time. Your idea of beauty has progressed to the point that it is beyond anyone else's ability to comprehend or compete with. Because you are working from frequencies that go beyond conventional appeal, it is difficult for people to find sufficient words to describe you at this moment. There is something about your presence that at the same time inspires others and makes them feel that they are not adequately prepared. It is not because you are attempting to scare people, rather, it is because genuine divine alignment generates a magnetism that cannot be replicated by artificial amplification. You have become the benchmark by which others evaluate themselves, regardless of whether or not they openly acknowledge this fact. Because the rate at which your words materialize into reality has increased to such a degree that you are learning to be more careful about what you say out loud, you are learning to express yourself more carefully. The impact of the remark you made about the relationship status of another person became apparent after a few days. As a result of the forecast on a dynamic in the workplace, the entire organizational structure was altered. That simple mention of the fact that you were in need of a particular opportunity opened doors that you hadn't even attempted to knock on yet. You have transformed your voice cords into instruments of creation, and each syllable contains the power to modify reality in accordance with your conscious or unconscious wishes. With the same kind of dedication that scholars devote to investigating a phenomenon that they are unable to explain, people are beginning to document your forecasts. In order to create unofficial archives of your prophetic accuracy, they are maintaining records of what you say and cross-referencing it with what is happening. All of these people are motivated by the indisputable evidence that your words carry a frequency that forces reality to restructure itself. Some people do this out of fascination, while others do it out of fear. The nature of the challenges you are currently facing is a reflection of your enhanced status in ways that give others the impression that you are both envious and threatening. Your challenges have progressed from being based on survival to being based on making choices between a multitude of bountiful options. Previously, you were concerned about not having enough, but now you are planning how to deal with an abundance of resources. Previously, you would have hoped for possibilities. Now, you are required to choose between competing offers. This change in the nature of the problem is perhaps the most obvious indication of the new reality you have created for yourself. The properties that have arisen in your energy field are ones that can only be characterized as truth-possessing properties. When people are in your presence, they find themselves revealing things that they had no intention of communicating. Secrets are like water that has been released from a dam that has been breached. Before you ask even a single inquisitive question, covert objectives are revealed to be completely clear. Simply being in close proximity to you creates an atmosphere in which it is impossible to keep up a deceptive performance. Those who have anything to conceal feel obligated to either confess or run away from the situation. Take note of the changes in behavior that occur as individuals become aware of the correctness of your observations. It is possible that at first they will disregard your observations as being merely lucky guesses or delusional expectations. However, as time continues to demonstrate that you are correct, their attitude changes to one of uneasy respect. They begin by inquiring about your thoughts on their choices, and then they wait for your declarations as if they were a prophecy. This transition from skepticism to adoration occurs with practically everyone who spends sufficient time in your circle during the course of your relationship. Because of the high standards you have set for yourself in terms of relationships, opportunities, and experiences, some are beginning to wonder if you are being realistic or whether you are being impossible. But these are not demands that are made at random. In order to maintain your improved frequency, these are normal requirements. Energy exchanges that deplete rather than increase your energy levels are no longer acceptable to you. You are no longer able to accept a partial truth when there is the opportunity to receive entire honesty. When you have made great your new standard, you can no longer accept anything less than adequate. In addition to an increase in income, the financial manifestations that stem from your elevated consciousness are not limited to that. The mechanics of their relationship with abundance itself are entirely different compared to one another. There is a natural flow of money toward you that defies the conventional logic that is associated with labor and reward. When you are not actively cultivating some channels, opportunities to earn revenue will present themselves. The consistent outperformance of investment returns in comparison to expectations is indicative of intervention that goes beyond market dynamics. This is not a case of luck. A natural consequence of functioning from a knowledge of merit at the highest levels is the occurrence of this. There is also the possibility that your capacity to see through facades has evolved into something that is close to supernatural insight. When carefully designed presentations are under scrutiny, it is possible to discern genuine objectives. You are able to perceive the genuine feelings that lie beneath the surface level of expressions. The weaknesses in your character that others have been able to conceal for years can be brought to your attention. Because you have such a clear understanding of human nature, you are both beneficial as a consultant and hazardous as an observer. Individuals who are striving to lessen your impact are coming to the realization that assaulting someone who operates at the same frequency as you results in rapid karmic consequences. Their plans fail to work out precisely when they are supposed to. The public is made aware of their character through their tactics. As a result of their efforts to isolate you, they find themselves cut off from society. It is as if the universe has activated defensive mechanisms surrounding your energy, which immediately eliminate dangers before they have the opportunity to inflict damage. Your everyday practice has developed into a lesson in divine alignment, and people are learning from it. An instinctive understanding of what is in your best interest is reflected in every decision you make, from the food you consume to the people you choose to maintain relationships with. Due to the fact that you have evolved an internal navigation system that is so refined, any deviation from your optimal path causes you to experience acute discomfort, whether it be physical or emotional. Even when your conscious mind isn't completely aware of the wider strategy, this biological feedback loop guarantees that you continue to stay aligned with your objective. You now have the ability to initiate conversations that contain transformative power, which participants will remember for years after the first conversation. Stand in faith, act in love, give with joy. That's the holy voices. Even a single conversation with you has the power to completely alter someone's outlook on their inherent potential. A single encounter has the potential to plant the seeds of awakening, which can eventually blossom into entire life shifts. Not only do your words communicate information, but they also carry frequency upgrades that trigger latent DNA in other people to become active. The fact that people are beginning to base their choices on your availability and opinions in ways that would be cause for alarm if your advice did not consistently prove to be beneficial is increasingly becoming the norm. They wait to make significant decisions until they have received your feedback. On the basis of your casual observations, they make adjustments to their plans. If they want to validate their own intuition hits, they will utilize your emotions as validation. An individual who is motivated by their ego would be corrupted by this level of influence. On the other hand, the fact that you are connected to divine wisdom provides you a secure haven for such faith. To the point when even people who were before skeptical admit its existence, the security that surrounds you has become so clear. When you are confronted with potentially hazardous circumstances, they resolve themselves. People who are toxic to you will remove themselves from your path without further involvement from you. As you get closer to an obstacle, it disappears almost instantly. It is not passive protection in this case. The process of actively reorganizing your reality removes obstacles from your path as you move along it. Your speed of manifestation has increased to the point that you are learning to give more careful consideration to the things that you want a better chance of coming true. Because of the rapidity with which your casual wishes were actualized, you have been forced to cultivate discipline in relation to your thought patterns. It is a sign that your consciousness has reached the level of clarity and alignment that enables instantaneous creation when it responds immediately to your thoughts and actions from the universe. From this point on, the healing that emanates from your presence will function automatically. The process of transforming other people and places without making any intentional effort on your part. When you arrive, tense circumstances are transformed into tranquil ones. Individuals who are ill report feeling better after spending time with you. Systems that were previously broken start functioning normally in your neighborhood. Whenever you go anywhere, you bring harmony with you because you have become a walking frequency correction. Your perception of energy has reached a level that enables you to make startlingly accurate predictions regarding the dynamics of groups and the outcomes of their interactions. There are certain connections that are going to flourish, while others are going to collapse. You are able to determine which projects will be successful and which will not be successful. It is possible to determine which individuals will overcome obstacles and which will fail when they are put under pressure. Additionally, this prophetic perception encompasses communal movements as well as alterations in society. You have learned the delicate art of timing your insights as a result of the burden of working with such accurate perception. Having learnt this, you now understand that truth that is offered too early is met with indifference, whilst truth that is delivered too late becomes unimportant. You are able to plant seeds of awareness that bloom precisely when people are ready to accept them, which is one of the most valuable gifts you currently possess. Your ability to calibrate the appropriate moment for disclosure has become one of your most valued gifts. Because of your magnetic presence, opportunities that are in perfect alignment with the purpose of your soul are now being drawn to you rather than just the desires of your ego. You are energized rather than depleted by the task that you find yourself doing. Instead of being built on a mutually reliant need, the relationships that develop around you are founded on their mutual elevation. Rather than merely adding to your resume, the experiences that come your way enhance your consciousness. Your new life is based on concepts that the majority of people do not comprehend because they have never been exposed to reality to the extent that they have responded to consciousness with such instantaneousness. It is your thoughts that shape the experiences you have. When you talk, it is what you bring into existence. What you imagine will be the reality that materializes. This level of creative power might be harmful in the hands of someone who is not aware of it, but the challenges you have faced have prepared you to use it in a responsible manner. There was a concerted effort on the part of the cosmos to get you to this precise instant of recognition and activation. Develop into the whole version of the person you have always been. Now is the time for you. You have a very clear mission. And since you have gained the right to speak with heavenly power, everything that you say will come to pass. It is an indication that you have progressed to a level of spiritual mastery that very few people are able to accomplish, that your manifestation powers have grown substantially. Your statements have become commandments from the cosmos. Your presence is a catalyst for transformation that will have repercussions that will be felt for generations to come, and your thoughts are like creative forces. You have finally discovered that you are the chosen one that you have always suspected you were. Beloved chosen one, if this message touched your spirit, remember, nothing you heard today was by accident. Heaven makes no mistakes. Your journey matters, your voice matters, and your light is needed in this world. Before you go, take a moment to like this video so that the message can reach more souls. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Holy Voices so we can walk this divine path together. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I read every one, and I pray over them. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, and remember, the one who called you is faithful, and he will do it. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 24.